Yep. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. We are here from Salt Lake City, Utah, field number 5. This is the MCLA National Championships 2018 edition. Beautiful backdrop. I'm Vlad and Chase, joined by Jordan Harris, and we've got ourselves a Division II matchup that I know I've been looking forward to over the evening. I was pondering what today was going to bring for us, Jordan, and this is going to be a really good game. NDSU, the North Dakota State University Bison, taking on Montana State University Bobcats. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, this is a rematch of a game from earlier in the season where the North Dakota State Bison kind of ran away with it 11-5. But both teams, I think, are very different now than they were at the beginning of the season. And I think what you're going to see is a really good matchup here. You've got a North Dakota State team with an incredibly good defense, and you've got Montana State, who's got one of the most talented offenses in the tournament period, regardless of division.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, Jordan, because of that. It's going to always be seemingly a battle of styles. And today it is that high-powered, potent offense that we saw at work yesterday against Dayton, taking on one of the best defenses that we have seen so far to this point in the tournament.
Yeah, and these are both pretty aggressive teams. North Dakota State kind of thrives on their 10-man ride that you'll see a lot of, where they pull the goalie out to be able to create additional pressure in the ride. Montana State is very aggressive in transition and in offense, and they're very good at scoring early on. So these are kind of two styles that are clashing that makes for a really exciting game.
What do you think is going to be the biggest factor in this one? How does one get in the upper hand in this game?
Yeah, I think if Montana State can clear consistently, I think they're going to have a really good chance at this game because they've got such a potent offense with so many weapons. It's not one guy, it's 4 guys. If they can get the ball consistently down to their offensive side, I think that'll bode really well for them. If North Dakota State can keep the ball on their offensive side of the field by riding, winning faceoffs, it's going to be tough for Montana State to be able to hold off the North Dakota State patient offense.
Not really a standout centerman for either side. They've got some solid face-off guys, but no one who's pushing that 70 percentile mark. So that will be one of those key battles throughout the year.
Starts off with the Bison.
Bison do get the first possession, and they're going to work in the offensive set, gaining the box quickly and cradling from pressure is Bannock. Bannock now going to just pull up, wait for some attacking middies to take the field here for the boys wearing their white uniforms, green numbers, yellow shorts and trim. Montana State with those shiny helmets and dark royal blue jerseys. Worked around. This is going to be NDSU with the first offensive set. We're just about a minute into this one, and it is scoreless from Field 5. This is 2018 MCLA National Championship coverage. Jordan Harris, along with myself, Vlad and Chase. This is going to be worked around the perimeter. Open set right now for this NDSU team. They work it into X, near side now.
Good
nice
tip.
pass. Oh, good defensive set there. As it was initially off of some long pole stick. Comes free. Looks as though it's going to be a maintained possession for this North Dakota State squad.
Yeah, and North Dakota State plays a very patient brand of offense. And there's a
wow,
nice
good looking
dodge.
move.
Did Shriver get a stick on that?
I don't think it actually made it there. It looked as though there may have been a nice trail check.
It's a lot of traffic to go through. Now here's what you want to see. Can Montana State clear this?
MSU able to at least gain that midfield line, but the ride is hard, put on, and the Bison get it back, and that's Shrout.
Yeah.
That's someone who's going to be a real key cog in this 10-man ride for North Dakota State.
Yeah, one of the worst ways to beat a 10-man ride is to just do it with one person, to have him run up the field and try and beat everybody, because in a 10-man ride you just get waves of defenders that come at you. So you see as soon as he crossed midfield, he had Shrout in his face, and Shrout's one of the better poles that you'll see out on any field in college lacrosse, and so that makes it really tough. You're going to have to use your whole team. You're going to have to pass. Can't be selfish.
And here comes an opportunity. Jump shot is put through the
placement.
crease. And it just skips wide. That was Eric Larson with the opportunity. Just a note for you, it is Noah Orem who is in goal here for this North Dakota State team. Of course, we saw 2 netminders for them yesterday. And NDSU once more with an offensive chance. They're going to work it into X. Pass comes into that
Good trail
high
check.
crease.
Slows it down. Doesn't get the ball, but he slowed down the dodge. There's
Now,
another good check.
Great one, right in front. Ball is up, and Shriever's out. He was probably one of the most active goalies that we saw, and then an errant feed comes right out.
So 2 failed clears so far for Montana State. They've done a nice job of being able to get the ball in defense, and then failed 2 of their clears. That makes a big deal. That's a big difference in the game.
Well, we've got 2.5 minutes gone in this one, and it's been all North Dakota State right now. I mean, MSU's had a couple chances, like you said, but neither successful. And
yeah, 2 great defensive stands for Montana State, actually, and both end up with North Dakota back with the ball.
Here's an opportunity, another jump shot.
Same
goes
location.
Just wide.
Same location.
Larson's wanting to get on the scoreboard early here for this NDSU team.
Yeah, and they're trying to do it by beating him opposite low, trying to bounce it in that opposite side from the goalie, get that shot low down the alley here. Those are good safe shots, though.
Opportunity again. This time
high.
Didn't really change the plane, but good to show that keeper a few different looks early on, keep him guessing. Opportunity from X once more. They come out on the far side of the field. Over GLE, pass now onto the ground, and a good work there from Larson to scoop it up. And you were talking about this one as kind of a factor. These fields are going to get chewed up over the course of this tournament, and that really can lead to a few more slips and just a little less control.
It's a lot of games on the same fields day over day. So all the places where the most high traffic, which are usually the dodging spots, those are going to get a little bit chewed up.
Opportunity and a tight angle shot. That one ripped just wide. Preston Olson, who was one of the top 3 in goals with 9 during the regular season.
Those are good opportunities, too. They're not bad shots. They're not getting on cage yet. They haven't really tested the goalie, but they're taking good high percentage shots.
And the thing that is interesting is Shriever just closed it up yesterday.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Remember that Dayton just kept going low, and Shriever was absolutely on it.
I'm not sure he gave up a single low goal all day.
Opportunity, another jump shot, and Larson's just all over it right now. He wants it bad.
Yeah.
Wants to get this NDSU team on the board here. Another backup from the Bison, as running over on the far side was Darby Sorensen, and Sorensen takes this one in on the restart whistle. We tick down to 10:40 left in what is a scoreless first quarter of play. You'd say that these teams are still in that period where they're kind of feeling each other out, seeing what the other's going to do, but you also have to factor in they did play each other, and really, I mean, it's been NDSU at this point. Montana State hasn't had that offensive set yet.
Yeah, we haven't seen the ball in Montana State's side of the field yet.
A shot, and what a stop from Shriever.
Shriever's so good low about getting down there quick and making those saves. Here's the 10-man ride. You see him jumping, and they're going to try and move the ball here this time a little bit.
And a good job to at least get free on that one. But it comes right back to the MSU side of the field. They're going to be forced back once more, and great ride, but there it is. The field gets the better there of Noah Simpson. Ball work to Shriever, and that's the thing that might be able to help this Montana State team out is the activation of their netminder.
Yeah, if he can be active and try and help that clear, that makes a big difference. But you can see here, like, they just do a nice job North Dakota does just a nice job of having everybody have pressure. Nobody is just having it easy to clear it. So even though Montana State gets the ball here, they're able to get the clear after a loose ball hold call. North Dakota State did not make it easy.
So that was Rizzolo who took it in. He gets the pass back on a little give-and-go play there. And again, Whalen, another one of those guys that you just have to mark up on. There seems to be so many on this Montana State offensive unit. Going to be taken and cradled here by the stick of Trey Bartu. Bartu eventually works it through, goes all the way to that X position. Comes up near side now. Richmond has it. He had a great game. I believe he ended with 5 goals yesterday.
Yeah,
now
really
it's
good.
Whalen trying to open up a shooting lane. Can't do it. Didn't like the look. Gives it off and spinning away from pressure. This is going to be taken by Rizzolo, and eventually he feeds one off, finding Lancaster on that far side.
North Dakota State being very aggressive in their slides here.
And a shot. Big save at the other end. Nice stop there from Orem, who's into the game with a save of his own. And Whalen, as you alluded to earlier, yesterday, he has a real rocket.
Nice knockdown here in transition.
Ball comes free. MSU not able to gather it in. Nice job from North Dakota State. They do scoop up the ground ball, and it's going to be taken into X. They'll set up offense once more with 8.5 minutes left here in a scoreless game. North Dakota State with their 4th set offensively. This is going to be Bannock. He finds a man.
No, it's going to stay.
That was close. And now there's Montana State trying to attack. It was Rizzolo. He couldn't get it. And another errant pass. So a couple of them there. It seemed as though
just could never quite get settled in.
They're still just trying to feel it out. Ryan Stover had trouble pulling in the one pass and then
just a series
couldn't
of
get
bad
it.
passes
Yeah,
after
couldn't
that,
get it past himself. So here's Schriever now. He's going to escape behind his own goal.
So here they're doing a good job of finding the open guy to be a little bit more patient. They just couldn't connect the pass. It's too low. But that's the right idea. They're not trying to force it up too early. Found a guy who was open, just couldn't connect the pass, and transition opportunity here.
Fast break chance, and what a good one. But great hustle from Montana State getting back. It looked as though that was opening up a lane. Shot and a big save from Schriever. This guy is just
Schriever's very
huge.
good.
I mean, he's not huge. He's actually pretty small, but he's playing big.
In addition to being a great goalie, you can hear he's the emotional center of this team. He's very loud, very active in commanding the defense. It's kind of exactly what you want in a goalie. And here's, that 10-man ride's so aggressive. Doesn't matter where it is.
Shroud just
good pass.
Pass
in.
Oh,
can't corral it.
Now an opportunity to try and clear for NDSU. They do. Ball's on the ground. It's worked up, and MSU can't do it. They do scoop it up, however, after a second and a third effort. And here's Montana State again. And their chances so far, I mean, right there, great look for Montana State. And on that first set, they had a great opportunity as well.
And they were both a little bit early in the possession there. I guess Wayland's wasn't, but that last one was early in the possession. He actually had that ball on his stick, just got checked away at the last second. So Montana State's starting to figure out a few things here in the clear. It's not easy, but they're getting it done. We're seeing their third offensive set here.
Worked on the near side. Montana State just working around the perimeter now. Wayland has it, and will trot towards this near side. Gives it off to Madigan. Madigan back to Wayland on a little give-and-go play. Across the top of the box to Richmond. Richmond looks for his options on the field. Decides Wayland's the best one. Gave it back to him. Now Richmond down that far side of the box this time to Lancaster. At GLE, Lancaster couldn't get the lane.
Yeah, it looks like North Dakota State is actually playing an aggressive zone here. They're not matching up man-to-man. They're actually going to a zone, but they get a penalty here behind the net. I believe it's going to be either a slash or trip. I think it's a slash. So that'll be a 1-minute call.
So we remain scoreless here in second round action. It's the quarterfinals, I suppose, huh?
Yeah, the
quarterfinal action.
And hearkening back to yesterday, we saw North Dakota State go man down a number of times. They actually held the opposing man-up unit without a shot in over half those sets. A very impressive day for them.
It's going to be a lot taller of a task to do that same thing here, though, because this is a potent offense and a chance near side from Richmond. Gives it past Rizzolo. Jump shot, and it may have been stick-checked there as he went to try and pull down on the ball.
Yeah, you can see Montana State moving a lot. I love that in a man upset. I like to see guys rotating in and out, forcing the defense to try and keep track of everybody. So they're going to keep doing the same thing here. Get some rotations, get some movement.
You can send us a tweet if you like, hashtag MSU versus NDSU. Ball comes out, shot. Ooh, that was a good look there from the stick of Alexander Brown. Misses. Worked around again here. This is Brown once more up to Rizzolo. Far side now. He finds Bartu. Bartu goes down the far side, and it's a nice pass out. Wayland shoots off the post.
It's going to be North Dakota State ball.
We got hesitancy there. You could see that Finnegan was trying to chase that down for NDSU, and he kind of pulled up eventually thinking he may lose the race. Noticed no one was really on him, and he's able to back it up. Now pass comes in. North Dakota State just about set to receive their man out of the penalty area. Finnegan now outlets this one. Nice pass, finds Eric Larson. Larson's across midfield line. And it's pretty interesting to see, because North Dakota State has that staple of the 10-man ride, when you see them get across that midfield line so easily, it sometimes is a little baffling.
It's a little jarring to see the difference in the pressure for. But that's part of Montana State's game. They also have a very strong defense this year that has done a great job. And so they're not afraid to concede clears in exchange for getting their defense out there and not giving up transition looks. So two different styles, then they both work for these teams.
Now a high pass is an errant one. That was right off the stick of Dylan Valentini. And he's going to want it back. He had a man in X, but he couldn't quite connect there with the pass to Olsen. Inbound play here for Montana State again. And the Bobcats progress this. Working against the ride. Nice quick feed. And a little stutter step at the midfield line. Good control. Nice cradling there.
Double team.
That was Rubenstein. Gives a quick pass off. This is going to be Brown now trying to get free. Brown looking to come out on the near side, doesn't have it. Instead passes to Richmond, back to Brown. Shot and a goal. Montana State opens up the scoring here, and it's a 1-0 lead for the Bobcats on a nice goal from Richmond.
Yeah, and that was a nice one, too, because you could see that the first pass that went upfield, he could have stepped down and taken that shot. That's right in that shot territory. He makes it look like he's going to shoot. At the last second, he ends up feeding and finds a cutter wide open on the crease and gets a super high percentage shot instead of a maybe lower percentage 15-yard rip. So good unselfish team ball.
That's what they're going to need, and it all really stems from Rubenstein being able to split that double team in the midfield line and get in there for Montana State. And they get some offensive time out of it. Now big face-off coming up. It's going to be a man that goes down.
Call with holding on North Dakota State. That'll be Montana's ball, Montana State's ball.
Whalen will take it in here. Gives a quick feed down to Lancaster. Lancaster cradles, comes back up top with a pass to LSM. Looks as though that's Andrew Quinn. And Quinn will just dish it back off and go for a quick change. Lancaster, cross, nice little feed there. Shot goes just wide.
No backup.
Good skip pass, though.
Yeah, sometimes when you are when you're in that subbing game where you're in the middle of subbing your guys in and out, the backup responsibility gets a little bit lost. So that's what happened on that one. It was a pretty good shot, but you had nobody who could back it up for him. So it ends up as a turnover.
Now it's going to be taken here by North Dakota State.
They'll patiently sub here.
No rush here for this Bison squad. 1-0 lead for Montana State, the number 7 seed, taking on this NDSU squad who comes in at number 2 in the national rankings. Taking it here now is Zachary Wiegman. Wiegman gives a quick pass off as North Dakota State brings on those attacking midfielders. Worked down towards the box again by Normandine. Normandine now has an open lane, feeds it into X. Cradling there is Simpson. Noah Simpson now far side as we've got another open set here for this North Dakota State squad. Normandine tries to get away from pressure. Nice little cut, then a reverse.
Early double team.
Down to GLE. Tried to fake a pass and kept the ball himself. Works it up top now, finding a stick there of Marsh. He'll just go low, below GLE, and trotting into X. The ball now is Preston Olson. Olson, nice reverse, comes to the near side. Chance, show, low shot. I just put it all together there. Low shot off the post.
Here's where it gets tough. One guy trying to clear it against the 10-man. You can go back, take a little bit of patience. Yep, perfect look. Sometimes you got to go backward to go forward. That was a great job of doing it there.
Lancaster now has it, and Montana State with a chance to set up offense once again. Looking for the first 2-goal lead of the day for either squad. It's a 1-0 game with the Bobcats on top. This is Lewis Richmond. Goes down to Lancaster now. He is in that X slot. Gives it up top to Whalen just off the bench. Another substitution coming here for Montana State as Rizzolo will trot onto the field as well. He's an option and he gets it right away from Whalen. Rizzolo now, far side, finds Brown in and out of his pocket. It's onto the ground. NDSU couldn't quite jump up there. Man slides out. Great move from Brown. He shoots. Hopped over the goal.
Shot. Yeah, you can see North Dakota still settling back into that same zone that they were running earlier. It's an aggressive zone, so you won't see them sit back like a traditional zone. They'll play the concepts where they pass off the Dodgers, but they're going to be aggressive everywhere in it.
Worked up top now. This is Bartu. He's going to try and take it down that far side of the field now. Reverses course and gives a pass to Whalen. Over to Bartu once more. 1-0 game, MSU on top, looking to extend that lead. If they can connect here on offense, it's going to be cradled by Brown. Gives it to Lancaster. Nice feed out top and a shot. That was a good-looking chance there.
This is a play that Montana State runs quite a bit. They'll move that ball behind with the 2 men behind, and Lancaster will curl around the entire defense in the middle, try and spring open. They got a couple goals in that yesterday, so that'll be one they continue to draw off of today.
This is Richmond to Rizzolo. Runs that way, reversing course to the near side now. Finds Whalen, gives one down low, and a jump shot and a goal. Good looking shot from Alexander Brown, who gets his second of the day, and it's 2-0 Montana State.
Yeah, a perfect play, and again, another opportunity for Montana State to just take the extra pass to create the offense. So that one went. You saw a little bit of a step-down half look, throws it one more, and he ends up with a great jump shot and perfect placement on the shot. You can't ask for better off-stick, right in that top corner. Beautiful placement on the shot.
1:03 left here in the first quarter of action. Nothing to really fret over if you're North Dakota State, but you definitely want to start finding a little bit of a little more chances at least at frame.
Yeah, and this game felt like it was tilted more in North Dakota State's favor when they were successful on every ride. And Montana State's figured that out a little bit here. And like we said early in the game, like Montana State has a very potent offense. So the question is just, can they get them the ball enough times? I think that's going to be the key for North Dakota State, is to just keep them from getting that ball.
It's kept in play on that far sideline. Eventually works out, flag flies. 43 seconds left in the quarter, and it looks as though we're going to have someone with some man up.
Looks like it's going to be on North Dakota State.
So we have a 2-0 game, and MSU is going to be headed to man-up play here.
So there's 43 seconds left in the quarter. This is a 1-minute penalty. So Montana State does have the option of, if the clock gets to 0 and they're holding the ball at the end of the quarter, they'll start the next quarter without a face-off. So essentially a free possession to start the second quarter. It's probably a little long to hold just for that, so you may want to take a shot or two early on. And then if the clock gets a little bit lower, then end up holding to start that second quarter with the ball.
Worked around the perimeter here. This is Richmond up to Whalen, now to Rizzolo. Middle of the field, top of the box.
Look.
Worked in by Brown. He gets it right back. On a give and go from Bartu. Down low near side to Richmond. Now it's going to be passed back door.
Oh,
shot!
Man.
No! Didn't miss by much.
Looks like we're going to call a push. So it's going to stay with Montana State. So they say he was in the crease,
wow,
but they say he was pushed to get there. So now you're at the point where you're starting to think about holding the ball.
Rizzolo gives it
18
over.
18 seconds.
Bartu has it. Into X to Richmond. Richmond, nice pass out to Whalen. He shoots, and a big save there. But the backup is coming.
Now definitely hold it.
6 on the clock.
You can hear Montana State yelling to hold it.
Montana State will head to the horn. We're done with 1 quarter of play. A 2-0 lead for the Bobcats over North Dakota State. And it will be Bobcats ball when we come back out of the timeout here as we head into quarter number 2. This is the 2018 MCLA National Championships from Salt Lake City. For Jordan Harris, I'm Blodden Chase.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
With you here from Salt Lake City. It's a pretty good matchup. The Montana State University Bobcats up 2-0 against North Dakota State. The Bison on their heels here a little bit as well. 17 more seconds of man-up play for the Bobcats as we come into second quarter action. They did hold on to the ball there, so they're able to start no face-off needed with possession. 15 minutes on the clock. I'm Blodden Chase, joined by Jordan Harris. If you'd like to tweet us, hashtag MSUVNDSU. Jordan, great first half. I'd say Montana State did exactly what they wanted to.
Yeah, good first quarter there for Montana State.
Yeah,
started off a little bit slow, played about 4 consecutive sets of defense, but they really settled in, figured out a few things on the clear. It's going to be called interference. So that's going to be a turnover there at the end of this man-up opportunity for Montana State, but they really have been playing very well the second half of the first quarter.
Now here's a loose ball, and MSU with a big ride here. Man's going to release.
Should be a hold or something here.
They did say a hold on it, so it'll be a ball for North Dakota State to work with here as they try and progress it upfield. And we are at full strength. 14:35 left, second quarter action.
Yeah, and you can really see the difference in these teams of how much Montana State is willing to push it on offense and how much more patient North Dakota State is, which is kind of funny because it's a little bit the opposite on the defensive side. North Dakota State, very aggressive in defense. Montana State, a little bit more content to sit back and play settled 6-on-6 defense. So kind of complementary in the way that they're attacking each other.
At what point do you start to worry a little bit for this North Dakota State offense? I mean, at what point do you start to try and shift things up a little bit if you're not finding success?
I think not yet, because I think they got some good looks in the first quarter. They didn't necessarily get enough shots on cage, but they weren't without good opportunities. So keep banging here. If you can't find any opportunities here in the second quarter or find the back of the net, then you really got to start thinking about something else.
Opportunity. Shriver releases. Wow. What engagement there. Opportunity. Shot and a goal.
Perfect placement.
Wow. That was Brandon Wirtz who ends up scoring. But, man, Shriver, I don't know what he was doing. He released and tried to activate a little bit there.
Yeah, it looks like he may have tried to help a double team in a missed slide situation there, so to possibly stave off a wide open opportunity. In that, it ended up still the Montana State defense was a little disorganized, couldn't get back, and that shot off stick hip, that's always said that's the hardest shot in lacrosse to save, is getting your stick around to the opposite hip. So as a shooter, that's the ideal placement.
So big face-off now, 2-1 game. NDSU on the board here with Wirtz connecting. And the face-off, push forward. Whalen wins that one cleanly for Montana State, and they're back on the offense themselves as the Bobcats try to go to work here. And you can see there's that aggression that we were talking about from NDSU. They'll try and, or Montana State will try and wait for their attacking middies to get on here. Pass comes out front, good look, shot just wide, backed up, flag flies. We'll see what this call is going to be.
It's always interesting to see the different styles from different reffing crews within the tournament. Yesterday we saw a couple games where they just let everything go. Today it looks like a game they're going to call it a little bit tighter. And that's okay as long as as a coach you're going to be calling consistently. And on this one they're actually going to wave the flag off and call it a loose ball push and let the team stay even. So
I like to see that.
Yeah, I like it too. I like when they get together, talk, make sure they get the right call. And so on that one, they're going to say the ball was loose, so we stay even. They'll give both the teams here a second to sub, get their right personnel on.
13-16 left. Montana State will maintain possession. Far side GLE, this is going to be Richmond who ends up spinning away from pressure. And the pass now not there, so Richmond holds on himself. Now he does give it off to Rizzolo. Rizzolo trying to march in. He gets away from a defender, then slips, has to regain his feet, gives it up top to Lewis Richmond. And Richmond with a nice feed, shot from Lancaster, stopped.
Yeah, Lancaster's too good to let that one in. Didn't really get a chance to step into the shot, kind of all arms as he was forced away from the cage, and that's a little bit far out. So not the best opportunity Montana State's had today, and North Dakota State eats it up.
Now it's going to be outletted. Nice little job there from NDSU, as it will be taken and worked into the offensive end. This is Halverson who has it, trotting towards that X position, gives a quick pass off, and the Bison once again work it into the stick of Wirtz. He's the goal scorer. Passes one up top, finds Bannock. Bannock now, he's going to have some support just off the bench. In comes Hatlin. Hatlin shoots and scores just off the bench. Hatlin rips one home on the bounce shot.
And you may not have been able to see this on camera, but there was a lot of havoc here in the subbing game for Montana State. They were trying to match the Bison as they subbed on their offensive personnel. They ended up not finding that Havnik there kind of comes off the bench. Nobody sees him come on, picks up that shot. Nobody within 10 feet of him here when he let it go. And those are tough for goalies to stop. You usually want at least something to disrupt the shot or slow it down, but that one he's able to get a full step in rotation into the shot.
Nice job from Hatlin. And it's 2-2. 12-10 left here in the second quarter of play from Field 5. Another face-off. This one pushed through and then kicked at by Montana State. Then it's going to be NDSU has a chance at it. They eventually scoop it up. Nice job there from LSM, Jack Dietz. And Dietz will pass it off. A chance and a jumping shot there goes just wide. with Bannock having the opportunity.
And you see how momentum just kind of builds up and rolls in lacrosse. You get that goal, and then you get that ground ball off the faceoff, and all of a sudden you're getting just great opportunities when for a quarter they hadn't really had any opportunity or any golden opportunities here. And so Montana or North Dakota is kind of on a roll here a little bit. The momentum's building up in their favor. You want to keep and ride that as long as you can. If you're Montana State, it's important to find something here to break it, whether it's a big save, a turnover, whatever you can do to break that momentum up.
11 and a half minutes left here. Second quarter action.
Opportunity.
And that was Hatlen once again, subbing down the middle. NDSU trying to find some offense from that far side of the field to play. Now it's Wirtz. He shoots. Oh, and he almost had it. He was trying to earmark it for the near post, but
love that skip pass. That's a great pass.
Now an errant feed right away. Not exactly what you want to see if you are North Dakota State. Montana State, though, with an errant play of their own, creates a turnover. It's going to be a ground ball scooped up by Noah Simpson. And Simpson will once again find a little offense for NDSU. He has a lane. Gives a pass back out to Hatlen. Hatlen now watches on. Flags fly.
I think it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct off ball. There's a little bit of chattering there, a little bit of talking between the two players. Looks like Montana State took the extra step too far.
10:40 left here. Free possession for this NDSU squad. Worked into X. Now up near side to Wirtz. Wirtz keeps it going. Eric Larson gathers this one in, and Larson tries to give himself a little lane to run, and he's just going to take it, spinning, and lost the ball. Came out, he didn't even know that he'd lost that one out of his cradle, and eventually it's going to be picked up, or at least pushed at. Wow. North Dakota State going to take this one. I'm surprised the whistle didn't blow on that.
Nice check.
Is it full possession?
It's got to be full possession. So it's not like hockey where you can just kind of get like a touch on the puck or get a touch on the ball. You got to be able to have it in your stick and really possess it before they'll blow the whistle.
I like that. That's a rule shift from the lacrosse I'm used to watching.
That's right.
But
and again, that's kind of called by refs. There's probably plenty of refs out there that would call it with that much possession. They'll blow the whistle. A little bit of discretion there, but they do say it's possession however you define that.
10:05 left. And now for the first time here this afternoon, NDSU goes man up. This is Hatlen who has backpedaling. There's a quick little feed over far side. Ball worked around. Nice skip pass near side. Taken in, and there's Schriever trying to activate again. Pass comes up. It's a fast one in out of the pocket. Ball is loose, scooped up by Montana State University.
And you see what Schriever's doing is he's recognizing when the Montana State defense has missed a rotation, so there's a guy wide open there. So he's saying, instead of you having a one-on-none shot and me trying to make the save, I'm going to jump out and try and disrupt the play early on. I actually kind of like it. I think it's a good aggressive play. It matches their defensive style well. And they're going to get an offside call here for Montana State. So North Dakota's going to get another free possession and get another man up. But you can see Montana State had the extra guy here since they were offside.
And that almost will do it for this.
The first penalty.
Yeah.
So now Montana State will have 7 guys on defense until this possession ends. And they just kind of throw it away there.
It's not a bad option, I suppose. I mean, you want to at least get a shot off, but
it doesn't hurt that much. Let's say that.
9:02 left here, second quarter action. 2-2 game now from field number 5. And it will be another man-up opportunity for this North Dakota State squad. Bison didn't really get a whole lot. I mean, it was Schriever on. That probably would have been the best opportunity.
Yeah.
But
not for Schriever jumping out, they would have had a really good look there. They did a good job of getting the Montana State defense off the rotation. Schriever just made a great aggressive play there to stop their last man-up opportunity.
Ball's worked on that far side now. NDSU going to try and find a man in the high crease. Shot and a goal. Nice job there, Zachary Wiegman with the strike on the man advantage.
Yeah, and on that man up, instead of looking on the outside there, last time they forced Montana State to rotate around the outside. This time they take advantage on the inside. They find a man on the crease. You see a little bit of celebration here from North Dakota State on the sideline, but they looked inside, were able to find that space inside, get an easy goal. That's what makes a good man-up unit. You can attack in multiple ways, so now the defense is not predicting what you're going to do anymore. They're starting to have to try and guess or react to what you're doing instead of predicting what you're going to do. So good job by North Dakota there.
Good to throw those multiple looks out And now all of a sudden Montana State put on their heels a little bit here. 3 unanswered goals from North Dakota State in this second quarter of play. Whalen tries a pass. That was a little bit weak, and it's going to be knocked down and put the other way by Shrout. Long pole man
is guys who does everything.
Yeah. And he is just an absolute monster in everything he does. He's good at it all. Now it looks as though we've got a whistle, and that will be a loose ball foul.
That's a tough push call. That one could easily be ignored, but that's kind of how they're calling the game today. You're going to see it'll be called a little bit tighter.
Worked up the field now, and this is going to be Montana State trying to break that 10-man ride. And they're able to do it with those
good
backwards passing. Yeah. And a chance now. Worked around. Here's a chance, an opportunity, and a goal.
And that's the flip side of the 10-man ride. If you can do a good job of quickly passing that ball upfield and making those transition looks, you're going to get an opportunity where the goalie and the defense is all scrambling back in to try and cover. It's exactly what happened there. Montana State moved the ball faster than the North Dakota ride. They're able to get a great opportunity and a shot on a goalie who's scrambling to get back in the net.
Rubenstein was the man who ends up with it. And I'll tell you what, you're absolutely right. He just wasn't, Orm wasn't really able to set.
Yeah, he was kind of scrambling back in there in that last second. So it's tough to scramble back in the crease and get set and get into your right goalie form and make that save.
8:09 to go. So 2 goals one goal for both sides. Back to a 3-3 game here. All inside of 40 seconds of play. Ensuing faceoff. It's going to be pushed forward. Whalen tries to get there, and a nice stick check there from Whalen. Ball comes free on the near sideline.
You know, we talked about this a lot yesterday, but face-offs are not about necessarily the draw. They're about the effort after the draw, and there you see Whalen kind of lose the draw. Montana State or North Dakota looks like they're going to get the ball, but Whalen keeps after it. He's able to create this stick check and get the ball back for him. So it may not go in the books as a face-off win, but for all intents and purposes, it might as well have been.
Worked around once more. This is Rizzolo far side. Finds Richmond down to bar 2. Up again to Richmond. Richmond finds Rizzolo once again, and he'll go to Whalen. Montana State going to work here offensively. They've got the latest goal. Whalen trying to dodge. Now re-dodges and looks to get away, but nice slides from that NDSU team, which is what we're normally used to seeing. And then Shrout battling. Pushes a man off the ball, gathers it himself. What a ground ball there from Shrout. And he's just going to reverse course and pass it to his own D-man as NDSU just slows up here on their breakout. Going to be gathered in by Orem now. Orem looks upfield with 7 minutes up on the clock. 3-3 game. A tight battle so far. I mean, both sides have had their moments where their game plans have really worked.
Yeah, it's been kind of a game of runs here. We've seen both teams be great in streaks. We haven't really seen a back and forth, punch for punch. It's been 2 different streaks that have gotten us to the point where we are.
Shrout now gets a pass, and North Dakota State gains the box as they will set their offensive unit in motion. Working around on an open set right now. It'll be gathered in and cradled by Ryan Stover. Stover feeds far side. Work down to GLE. Taking it there is Linderholm. Linderholm into X with a quick pass. Finds the stick of Olsen. Comes up top again, and Stover has it once more. Gives a quick little feed off to Eric Larson, who tries to get through a man. Defensively can't do it. Stover has it again. Near side, he finds Hatlin. Hatlin looking. Doesn't like his options. Decides now on a pass. It was a high one, but gathered in nicely by Preston Olsen. Olsen now at GLE far side. Worked around. And yet again, we're looking at Ryan Stover with the possession as he's just going to try and get away from his man. Marking up on him was Kruger. Taken behind the box. Nice job trying to come out front. A reverse jump shot. What do you call that?
A question mark dodge, where you kind of come up and you turn around the other way. Kind of makes the shape of a question mark dodge. But those are tough to stop if you can dodge them right. It takes a high quality attackman to be able to pull those off.
And they're just off the mark. Opportunity though at another jump shot. Good opportunity, but just over the goal from Larson.
One thing you like about North Dakota State's offense today is yesterday against Central Connecticut, they kind of had an issue with unforced turnovers. And outside of one pass early in the game, they haven't really had a lot of unforced turnovers on offense. So they really cut that out of their game from yesterday to today, just making a big difference.
Now worked around, and that's in and out of the pocket of a man. Kicked at by Montana State.
They're going to call a push. And they're just going to call those all day, so you can just kind of expect whenever there's going to be a ground ball, if you see a questionable push, they'll call it. And like I said, the biggest thing you're looking for is consistency. Now, if you watch how Montana State's going to break this clear here, they've got to pull all the way down on the offensive side of the field. Looks like they're trying to drag somebody away.
Schriever activates. Oh, almost a tail check there on Schriever. But he was able to get just enough on it, and there's an outlet pass. And a chance here for Lancaster. And again, the keeper's out. Pass out front, shot, and an open goal. Wow.
So you see, Montana State is being really patient in the clears. It doesn't look beautiful in the back end, but sometimes it's a little bit scary when you got Schriever trying to dodge a guy. But he was under full control. You've got a goalie who's talented with the ball. He's patient. They're able to make a look, and because they're able to be patient in that clear, they're getting opportunities on the offensive side of the field against a 10-man ride. When you talk about now, where's the discussion point for Montana or North Dakota State? When do you come out of the ride if they can continue to break this and continue to get goals off of it? You're probably not there yet, but it's something that's now starting to creep in the back of your mind.
Absolutely. You have to see a little bit of success from that ride.
Yeah, it's got
to warrant it.
The numbers have to be in your favor, right? But when you commit as a team to run a 10-man ride, you're committing to, we're going to give up some goals in this. And you can't be a team that says, okay, well, we've given up 1 goal or we've given up 2 goals and we're going to pull it off the table. You commit to it. It's part of your identity. You keep going even if you give up a goal or 2 like they have so far.
Whalen is going to be taking this one in for Montana State, who have regained the lead on 2 unanswered of their own here in the second quarter of play, 4-3.
I think we have a timeout here for Montana State.
Indeed we do. We're going to step away for a quick moment as well. This is the 2018 MCLA National Championships. We'll be back from Salt Lake City for Jordan Harris. I'm Blodden Chase.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA. Founded in 2009,
Back with
Lacrosse
you here
Talk
with
Radio.
one of the more beautiful backdrops that you'll ever see from Salt Lake City, Utah. Great to see the snow-capped mountains over there. We're waiting on our director to give us a shot of that one still, but we see a lot of it yesterday.
It's to make sure the viewers stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're going to stay tuned for the mountain shot.
That's a tease for you. Make sure you stick around because we'll have that. It's Montana State University lead 4-3 over NDSU. I told you, I'm not lying. There it is. That's what we get to look at here when we're not looking at lacrosse. But for now, I mean, it's a great game. 4-3 lead for Montana State on top of North Dakota State University, and it's a battle of teams not used to playing in this type of heat.
Yep, I think so. This is probably the warmest game of the year for all of these teams up from a little bit further north. The weather's hot, but both teams are dealing with it. I don't think it's necessarily been a factor. It's probably at a little bit of a higher altitude, but not by much. And so I don't think any of those external things are going to end up being the factors that decide the game. It's going to be more about which teams are executing their game plan better. And right now, you got to be impressed with Montana State's ability to beat the North Dakota State ride. That's kind of North Dakota State's stamp on the game. And Montana, the Bobcats, are doing a nice job of beating it so far.
We'll see what happens and if they slip out, because the big thing for me isn't those goals, because you said it just a little bit ago, but you're gonna give some up.
You need the success.
But you need to find success. Yeah. Here's a pass out front. Ooh, good looking chance there, but Richmond doesn't shoot.
That same play we saw earlier with Richmond coming across on the cut.
He gives it back to Madigan. Madigan now tries to lower his right shoulder and gets a stick up top. Nice little skip pass there. Finds the stick of Brown. That is taken instead by Travis Boyum, getting his first taste of action. Now it's Rizzolo in front, and
good
Bartu
look inside, just couldn't handle it.
Got denied. Now it will be taken by North Dakota State, and they're going to try and outlet this one.
They're going to get a fast break here.
And a good chance at it. Here's an opportunity with men up the field, and a pass to the back post, far side, dribbles away. And then Schriever lost it. Passed out front, chance for Wirtz, open goal, he missed it. Schriever got back, but I think that was going wide.
It ended up going wide there, and you saw Schriever go back, get that ground ball, and as he planted to turn the other direction, Field just gave out from underneath him, slipped, ended up with a turnover and a golden opportunity for the Bison that they couldn't convert.
They do back it up, though, and they'll keep possession here as this is going to be Wiegman who gathers it. And again, you see that sub game that's very strong right now between these two.
Yeah, they're both playing a little bit of chess here in the sub games, and so far North Dakota State has been able to generate a goal off of that, and another good opportunity later.
Here's another opportunity, a tight angle shot and a goal, and we are all knotted up at 4 apiece with Preston Olson getting a strike there.
Yeah, good job by Olson dodging that alley really hard. And you could see Montana State kind of go for a trail check, but his release was so quick. It came underneath before that check came down. He gets a beautiful placement on the shot. Good goal.
Good looking play there, and we're all knotted up at 4 apiece now. 3 minutes to go exactly on the clock. So this is exactly what I was looking forward to. When you get into these later rounds now,
yeah,
you definitely expect tight battles, and these two teams don't like each other. They see each other usually during the regular season of play.
These are the rivalries you like, though, as a player. You like having somebody who's good that you're constantly knocking heads with. It makes it a lot more fun. You may not like him, but you enjoy the rivalry.
Yeah, there's a respect there, definitely. Now it's going to be Whalen who stumbles. Scrum ensues. Ball is free.
Flag
flies. Scooped up by NDSU, and it's going to be against Montana State. And here's a fast break in the meantime. Back post play. Shot! Oh, and just off the mark there. Olson almost picked up another goal from that same exact location.
And North Dakota State is not wanting for opportunities here, especially in the second quarter. They've had a lot of really good looks, including a couple where the goalie's been out of position. They just haven't been able to put the shots on cage. It's not even that they're making Schriever work here for it. They're just missing the net altogether.
We'll see what happens with 2:40 left. We got man-up opportunity again for this North Dakota State squad, and we saw a really good man-up goal in their last go of it.
Yeah, the last time they went inside, found an opening on the inside of the Montana State defense, and you can see Montana State giving a little bit, same thing.
Wow.
Exact same thing. You can see them trying to cover that high inside guy that time. They slipped a second guy inside, so now there's 2 to cover inside. Montana State didn't pick him up. That's 2 straight in a row.
Noah Simpson with the goal. 2:31 left here, and it didn't take long.
There's a timeout for Montana State.
Good one to take at that time, trying to kind of curb that tide because North Dakota State's ridden it. They've got 5 goals so far here in the second quarter of play. But Montana State's right there. It's a 5-4 game.
Yeah, and one of the things you're seeing on North Dakota State is experienced teams that have multiple ways to attack you. So they had on their second man-up opportunity, on the first one, they weren't able to come away with a good shot. They adjust, run some different looks on the man-up set, and because they've been able to change that, now they really have Montana State guessing in man down. So that's 2 different looks in a row, and both times it ended with somebody taking a great shot on the inside just a few yards away. Those are incredibly high percentage shots. Those are exactly what you want to get in man down, and that comes as a result of North Dakota having multiple options there that they can work from.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. No one would listen if I did. 5-4 your score here with North Dakota State on top, the number 2 seed, facing off against the Bobcats, who come in at number 7. And they're going to try and pump up a little bit here. North Dakota State getting a few extra words from the coaching staff.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
I'm loving this.
You're saying keep the momentum going if you're North Dakota State. Let's do what's been successful. This game is being called really tightly, a lot of penalties. So if you're Montana State, you got to start watching that. You've had a little bit of a struggle in man down, so now it's saying, okay, we got to rein ourselves in. We got to be a little bit smarter. We can't take penalties, especially right now when you need to get that momentum back.
Got a big face-off coming up. The importance of those magnified the deeper into the rounds that you get, just because possession becomes that much more difficult to obtain. So we'll see what happens on this draw. Looks as though it's Whalen who's going to try and take this for the Montana State Bobcats. He pushes it forward. He's had a few of them. He's won cleanly, this one included. Whalen gains it for MSU. He just tosses it right down to Lancaster near side. And Keegan Lancaster takes it into X. He's one over to the far side. Finds Richmond, back to Lancaster. This is a prolific offense for Montana State. They're only down by 1 right now to this North Dakota State team, and they've got to still have some confidence being this close with 2 minutes to go in half.
Yeah, if you look at offensive efficiency, if we were tracking that here at the table, it'd be high for both teams right now. Montana State's scoring on a high percentage of their opportunities.
Chance. Shot.
Beautiful shot.
Wow.
Good save. Good way to get across. Took a little bit of extra, took a half step extra to gather that ball in. That's just enough time for North Dakota State to step over and get the save.
Orem was able to somehow get there. Bartu would love to have that one back. Now a big ride here
Beautiful.
from Montana State. North Dakota, though, breaks right through it. And NDSU's up the field. Opportunity to backdoor play. Nice little reversal. Wirtz shoots one, low to high, and he misses. He changed the plane on it, but he ended up trying to earmark that for the top left corner of the goal.
So we're going to get a timeout from North Dakota.
Just like that, we've got 88 seconds left here in second quarter action. 5-4 lead for North Dakota State. We'll step away for a quick breather. For Jordan Harris, I'm Blood and Chase. Back with you here from Salt Lake City, Utah. It's the 2018 MCLA National Championship Tournament. This is the quarterfinals, and we've got North Dakota State coming in as the second-ranked squad. On top right now, 5-4 against Montana State, who is 7th. So not too much of a disparity there. I mean, when you have the top 1, 2, and 3 teams, generally those are the ones who separate themselves during the season, but Montana State's done an excellent job here. I'm Blood and Chase, joined by Jordan Harris. Jordan, been a pleasure this whole time to be able to learn from you.
Well, and about these two team separation, you know, RPI is a metric that's used extensively in the NCAA level. If you look at the RPI for the MCLA Division II, Montana State was actually number 5 in the RPI. So this is the gap here is pretty close between these two teams. Montana State may be a little underseeded coming into the tournament because of their strength of schedule and who they were able to play. But really, these are two evenly matched teams. I think this is as good a game as you're going to ever get in the quarterfinals.
1:15 to go. This is possession for North Dakota State. And it's going to be worked around. Hatlin has this. He's got a goal as well in the quarter. He gets right back. Passed around once more. Into the stick now of Preston Olson. Olson reverses course, gets it to Hatlin. Nice movement off the ball here from North Dakota State. Ball worked up top now. It's going to be Bannock who has it. He tries to duck a shoulder. Now reverses. A chance for Bannock in
trail
front.
Check.
Great trail check there.
Yeah, that trail check there. That's if you're going inside, you know you got to tuck your stick a little bit tighter because you're going to have those checks coming. Here comes a 10-man ride. North Dakota State not out of it yet.
Opportunity.
There you go. I'm not sure what we're calling here, but yeah, it looks like it's just going to be out of bounds, and North Dakota State gets their first successful ride in almost a quarter here, so that's why you stay in the ride. That's the aggression that you want to stay with. You get a chance to get your best pull matched up, create a turnover.
No chance. Tight angle off the post. Preston Olson didn't miss by much. 21 seconds to go here. Looks as though they do back it up, and so NDSU is going to have it, but before that, another timeout here from the Bison. 5-4 game. What are you liking and what are you looking for out of the last 21 seconds? North Dakota State's going to have this opportunity at possession.
Yeah, I mean, you take 10 seconds off the clock, and that basically kills any chance that you could give up a fast transition goal. So if I'm North Dakota State, I take a couple seconds off the clock, not too long, and then you're running one of your set plays to try and get a goal here before the half. The big thing is make sure you don't give up one going into half, and 21 seconds is not a huge risk, but you're going to look for a set play here. So maybe a pick inside, some sort of movement, a play to try and spring a guy to get open here to run a play. And so you got a ton of these here. Usually they're called your out-of-bounds plays, but you'll see them draw something up here the first set play. On defense, they'll lock off, make sure they don't give up a cheap goal here at the end. At the very worst-case scenario for North Dakota State, go into halftime winning here 5-4.
We'll see what happens as North Dakota State breaks out. Montana State also set and ready to defend here. Looks like possession is going to come from that far side. The offensive unit here getting a little extra verbiage from the coaching staff. Here they come. So does the wind. Wind picking up a little bit from field 5.
And you hear the Montana State coaches trying to make it a late adjustment here. The wind is making that hard to get the word down, but I think they got it. I believe they're going to jump into a zone here for the last 21 seconds. Yep, it's exactly what they did.
So it's going to work near side now, taking the cradle by Normandin.
So one of the things I love about that timeout zone is you got a team that just drew up a play. Oh, man. Again, Schriever.
He's all over the place. Chance and a shot and a goal.
That'll
4
go.
seconds to
That'll
go. Eric Larson with the strike there. And that's a dagger with 3 seconds on the clock.
And a good adjustment from North Dakota State because they haven't seen Montana State come out in a zone yet today. So you hear them coming out of that timeout. Montana State shows a zone, which probably changes the play that you called in the huddle. But they adjust, no problem there. They're able to find a shooter, get a goal with 3 seconds left on the clock. It's a big momentum swing going into halftime.
Now, for the first time today, a 2-goal lead for North Dakota State. And it's going to be a face-off to be taken here by Whalen. He's going to go up against Normandin. 3 seconds. Are you able to even really get a shot off?
I mean, in lacrosse, it's kind of like basketball. Once the ball's released, it can go in after the buzzer. But you're gonna have to pick this up quickly and get a shot. It's gonna have to be a long one. So, barring a bad play by the other team, probably no goals here.
So face-off to be set. Looks though the field was a little disgruntled. Whalen's going to try and push it forward. Nice job there, at least slowing it down. And that brings us to the horn. 30 minutes in the books here from field number 5. It's a 6-4 lead for North Dakota State over Montana State. And it looks as though there will be a foul.
Now what that will do, since it was a conduct foul, is it will mean Montana State will start with the ball at the start of the second half. So they won't get a penalty since it's technically a loose ball at the end of the quarter. They'll be able to start with the second half with possession. A big momentum swing that you don't want to give up for the chance to chirp it in an opposite team.
I don't know. I mean, chirping's pretty fun. We're going to step away. It's halftime here from field number 5. North Dakota State on top 6-4 over Montana State. We'll be back with the second half of action for Jordan Harris on Blodden Chase.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and finished up at University of Maryland, College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
I'm Greg Renlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. First thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough and can it help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black, it's pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Meso Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Life is about moments. If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings.
Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid?
See ya!
Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
So whatever you're gonna do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. This is the Under Armour Banshee. It's the mid-level lacrosse cleat. What I like about it is it's got a low cleat feel, but with the protection of a mid to high cleat. I'm usually a guy who likes to protect my ankles, but I don't like to lose the mobility and feel like I'm wearing a heavy cleat. UA Banshee, untouchable, unstoppable.
I'm Eric Law. I went to the University of Denver and I played professional lacrosse for the Denver Outlaws. This is the UA Command 2.0. I really like the new design of the thinner scoop at the top to help with ground balls, and the same thing in the back with the flare to help with ground balls as well. The pocket, it forms just a nice, easy pocket right in the middle. I also love how light it is. We've been in the sun all day. It still doesn't get that soupy, bendy feeling. Also, what I really like the new addition of is the side rail pockets for the shooters, which doesn't go right in there, which I think is a brilliant design.
I'm Greg Gorenlian, known as Greg Beast. I played for the New York Lizards. I just retired from the MLL, and I face off for Team USA. An elite level face-off man looks for a couple different things. The first thing is the pinch points of the head, the flex points, how it wraps around the ball. The second thing you look for is the scoop. Is it rigid enough to kind of help you get an extra couple ground balls? The third thing is you want durability. You don't want to have to go buy a new head every few games, so this head basically encompasses all three of those. The Face-Off Academy put Command X's heads and their prototypes through the grinder. They lasted throughout the entire grind. They flexed exactly how we wanted them to. So not only were they pliable, not only were they durable, but they were also used in a lot of different facets. So it came out with a pretty good rating. The UA Command X. Dive under, take over.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more.
Gentlemen from Salt Lake City, this is the 2018 MCLA National Championships. I am Blotton Chase, joined by Jordan Harris, and we have MSU and NDSU playing in front of you, the white jerseys, North Dakota State, the royal blue, which must be pretty warm out there. Montana State, Bobcats and Bison doing battle here in half number 2. A 6-4 lead for NDSU. However, it is possession right away because there was a conduct foul. No penalty on that, but it was possession at least to start things off for MSU.
Yeah, just a little bit of over-energetic, maybe been the refs seen something that wasn't there, but that's what North Dakota State would claim. But either way, Bobcats start with the ball. Chance
and a high shot. That one's going to be backed up. The shot off the mark, however, by quite a bit. And there wasn't really anyone around that. I don't think that pre-release. I think that was just one that just didn't quite hit.
Pretty far out. It's better to shoot that high than right in the goalie stick, let's say that.
Montana State now takes it again, however. This one's going to be Brown. He tries to get free. Passes over to Rizzolo. Far side now. Gathered in by Lancaster. Lancaster, nice little feed in front. Chance at a jump shot. Great defensive play. I don't think that went even to the goal. A great job from Lutgen, who got back.
And North Dakota State on that set was actually out of their zone, so they switched back to a man-to-man aggressive defense there, mixing it up, trying to keep the Bobcats on their toes.
All worked up now, and a good ride there from Montana State, but they're able to break. NDSU trying to come up with a fast break chance, and now they'll set in to some offense, their first set of it here in quarter number 3. Just about a minute gone. This is a 6-4 game.
Yeah, you see these teams getting a little bit chippy there on that last sub. A North Dakota State player looks like he threw an elbow a little bit as he's coming to the box. That'll get more intense here as the game goes on and as it gets more intense and the stakes get a little bit higher in the second half. So the refs are on it, though. They're watching and they're talking to the coaches about it.
This one's going to be Hatlin who has this. Works it up top into the stick of Stover. Far side now, he finds Bannock. Back to Stover again. Stover near side to Hatlin. Gathers in. He had a goal there in that explosive 6-goal second quarter of play for this North Dakota State squad. They rolled. They just kept going with the momentum. It's going to be taken in once again, by Anthony Bannock. He goes up to Stover once more, tries to open up shooting lane, doesn't like it. Gives it back to Hatlin, fakes pass far side, gives it again to Stover. He's trotting towards GLE, passes into X, and finds his man there. Worked around by NDSU. Pass comes up top again. Hatlin has this once more. He's going to be marked up on by Rizzolo. And there's a nice little inversion here as it's a short stick playing D, but Hatlin goes down. He does recover his feet, gets a little bit of a pick. A pass to the back post, shot, big save from Schriever, who got across in a hurry.
Yeah, and you'll see that on this invert set that they use. They're trying to create looks up top, not necessarily score right off the dodge, but create enough pressure to try and open up looks up top. Worked to perfection on that one.
Now MSU, shovel pass to Whalen.
Got to go back.
He's going to reverse course, trying to go on the far side. 10-man ride
Do it
here.
Himself.
Whalen, stick checked.
That's a tough task to go through that many guys.
Ball again, down once more. Scooped up by Shrout, and he's just an absolute monster, and it looks as though we've got a whistle.
Interference on North Dakota State.
So MSU has this once more. Bobcats are going to try and come to the near side. And you were kind of talking about that. When the ride goes that hard and they're starting to double team, you can, if you have that ability, you can get 2 passes and switch the field and have a better chance of breaking.
Yeah, the hardest thing to do is do what you're kind of seeing Montana State do, which is go through the pressure one guy at a time. They did a better job there of not letting it be a double or a triple team, but a couple times they seem to try to go through those matchups. Those are really hard to get.
This
and
one's
a tough feed to a pole inside. You can't tuck that stick away enough to hide it, so when you're inside on the crease with a long stick, really hard to handle those passes.
North Dakota State right back their way. Nice, crisp passing, and they're going to try and attack here. Eventually forced to peel off, and now they will slow down and get the attacking middies out there. But a good-looking good developing play there from this North Dakota State squad. Bison, though, will set into their patient play. Ball is worked near side. Kind of fun. I'm trying to listen in. You want to hear some of what they're saying.
And on that one, they're talking about the long stick midfielder who was in on the crease saying, hey, tell him to be ready. If he's open, I'm going to throw it to him. I don't care that he's long stick, and I think that's the right idea. You want everybody to be ready to score a goal. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are.
Worked around into X. This is North Dakota State with possession here. Cradling away from pressures Linderholm. He's a little bit undersized, but he makes up with it with his quickness. Pass now up to the top of the box, and it goes to the ground. But again, Montana State, like you kind of said, they settle in and they don't really go and push out too much defensively. And so those kind of ground balls aren't exactly prime opportunities. And the nice little...
That's why. They got such good sticks inside. They're going to force you to make those skip passes. They do a great job of connecting with those. Ooh, I think that was out of bounds barely. Oh, that was just slightly on the ground. So you see the pass went out of bounds there, and he reached his stick out to catch it, and the stick just barely touched the ground to create the turnover. Almost an incredible pickup there from Richmond.
That was a real good effort there from the attacker. And NDSU right in. So, in terms of Montana State, why, and this is just, again, me coming from my hockey background, but why wouldn't you at least ride a little harder at one guy? I mean, one-man ride on that strong side where the ball's coming up.
It just depends, because anytime you're pressing down, you're either going to create a ton of space in the middle of the field, or you're taking some guys back from your defense. So if you're concerned about not giving up transition goals, maybe some of the best ways to do that is to drop everybody back.
But even their attackers, though.
It's kind of like a neutral zone trap in hockey. You're trying to just jam up the middle of the field to make sure that they can't get through the middle fast. You're just jamming up the space there, giving it up. So you're willing to give up no pressure, but in exchange, you're not getting any speed through the middle of the field.
Fair enough.
Neutral zone trap doesn't mean a lot to non-hockey fans.
But I get it. I get you. This one is going to be a ground ball that is picked up by North Dakota State. They're looking again for that skip pass. Wasn't there. And now eventually pass does come in front. Shot and a goal. North Dakota State puts it home. This is Preston Olson, who scores his second goal of the game.
And Olson is just kind of what you'd call a crease monkey, a guy who's constantly moving in the middle. But it feels like they're just having a ton of success looking inside the Montana State defense to Olson. And he's doing a good job of keeping his feet moving, cutting at the right times, showing at the right times, and just moving inside. North Dakota State, that's 3 straight goals that they found on the crease on inside cuts. 2 of them were man up. That one's in 6-on-6, but a lot of success to be had inside.
And what they do so well is they go in and out of those sets. They don't just have that one man who's in front making the moves.
Moving.
It's a constant rotation, and that's really what has opened up the lanes. And Olson's just been the guy that's been open at the time, and he's a good finisher too. Ensuing faceoff is going to be pushed forward. Whalen looking for some support, still on the ground, and scooped at by North Dakota State, eventually picked up. Schrout was in the vicinity. He was helping out. And it will be North Dakota State now trying to attack again. This ball is a pass that had to be picked up off the ground as well because it was a long pull midi there. Jack Dietz, who was helping out, but eventually North Dakota State slows it down enough. And they will get their attacking middies out there with just about 8.5 minutes left. And what is now a 7-4 game. North Dakota State starting to push it out a little bit here as they have been able to rattle off 3 unanswered goals after Montana State tied this thing up at 4.
Yep, all the momentum is going to the Bison now.
It's a steady momentum, but that's the kind of game that North Dakota State plays. They slow it down both offensively and defensively, and it's going to be interesting to see if they're able to get out of this round. It'll be interesting who they face off and who can really contend against that because they're so comfortable playing 6-man ball offensively and defensively.
Yeah, it slows the pace down, so you're never going to have a game that runs away where the pace is a 15-20 type of game, a really high-scoring game like you may see with some other teams. But that's just, you got to be patient to beat them too. You got to be patient in your clears, patient in your offense, and not let North Dakota State get comfortable.
Looks as though it's going to be a chance that's backed up. Man went down, but he does recover his feet, though. Spencer Marsh looks as though he's a little worse for wear, but he's still out there. And now they will set up in a 3-1-2 offensive set here. A little bit of a different look again with 4 guys at the top of the box there for North Dakota State. There's another one of those things where you get another different look.
Yep, something new. And that one's a turnover, but that was actually a well-timed push from Montana State to create that turnover right when he's going to pass it. He got popped in the shoulder by a Bobcat. It's exactly the right timing to create a turnover. Now, here you go. Go back. Exactly what you need to do here. Take that pressure, go back. Now, don't try and beat it with one guy here. That's where you're going to get in trouble.
Here comes.
See them collapsing. Here's the double team that's collapsing on it.
What a job to break it.
And it's going to be a push on North Dakota State. So the question is, can you replicate that every time you're clearing? Is that something you can do again and again? It works that time. They're able to draw the push after the ball drops down. But that's a high risk way to beat this ride.
Rubenstein's done it a couple times, but I'd say he's probably no better than maybe 30% on those attempts so far today.
Which, if you're North Dakota State, you'll absolutely take.
We've got under 7 minutes to go here in this one now. Whalen has it. We're in third quarter action with North Dakota State on top 7-4. And that is a skip pass that's over the head of Lancaster.
Yeah, and there's an unforced turnover. Those are usually the tail of the game. Team that can cut those out it's gonna make a big difference for the offense. You're okay with turnovers. Lacrosse, if you're a great offensive team, you're scoring at about 30 to 40% of the time you have the ball. The question is the other 60 to 70%. Are you throwing it away without a shot, or are these turnovers where you're being aggressive and trying to get goals?
North Dakota State gains the box here. 7-4 lead for the Bison. 6.5 minutes left in third quarter action, and it will be worked into Hatlin. Hatlin, one of the bigger bodies out here for either side, really. And he already does have a goal on the day. He was on the fortuitous side of that nice little change from the midfield. Hatlin gives it right back over to Stover. The two of them have worked the top of the box many a time here today. Here's Stover now. He rips one. Big save from Schriever. Rebound is taken by Stover for a moment. Bodies collide. Loose ball scooped up by Schriever in his crease. Now he escapes behind the net again and will just feed one over far side. It was a loose ball. That was picked up, and now the outlet for Montana State comes. 10-man ride in effect, but a nice job to break it. Oh, and
knocked down.
Great stick there from NDSU.
See a couple different ways to try and beat it. That time, instead of running through it, they decided they're going to try and shoot on the empty net. That's a hard shot to make from 50 yards, especially when a defender's able to get your stick on it like that.
This is going to be North Dakota State now that will take this across the midfield line. And a nice job there. That was the pressure that I was inquiring about, right, at that time. And I guess it was because he was already behind the play, but that was Alexander Brown who was getting back and definitely riding a little harder than we were used to seeing.
And that last set for Montana State, they let North Dakota get that outside shot. That's where you want to use Schriever. He's such a good goaltender. You want to make sure you don't give the inside shots where he has no chance. Force the Bison to shoot from outside because he's a great keeper. He can make those saves.
Now it's worked over far side by Hatlin. Hatlin doesn't have a skip pass, gives it to X position. Now inside to Wirtz. Back to the top again and looking near side. Eric Larson sees that nobody in a white jersey except his teammates off the field are there.
The fake to nobody.
Larson now back over on a give-and-go play to Hartland. And Hartland will take this now. Hatlin. Shot goes just wide. Won't be on frame, won't test Schriever, but it is backed up, and it will be taken in once again, this time by Noah Simpson on the near side for NDSU. And what you're also having to look at here for this North Dakota State squad is these possessions, though they haven't had great chances. There's another opportunity that just goes wide. Now, will that one be a backup, or will that be?
So as long as it's you can touch it and it still counts as a shot, as long as you don't gain possession. So you see, he tried to catch it, tipped off the stick. It's still considered part of the shot there, so it goes back to the Bison.
Okay. Here's Hatlin again, top of the box, doesn't have a run. Looking for a skip pass, doesn't have that to Wirtz either, so he goes to Stover instead. Stover now. He's going to be marked up on here defensively by Jade Manning, and eventually gets free. Bounce pass coming towards the midfield line. Will be chased down in plenty of time by NDSU. Eventually scooped up now and passed in from Eric Larson to Hatlin again. Hatlin comes near side, a little shake and bake play. He tried to cut left to right. Great job marking up on him, though, and a good slide from the MSU defender. Now a shot and a goal. That's one that Schriever wants back. That's a long shot and a good one, but
it seems like if you're going to shoot on Schriever, the key is to go off stick high. It's not to go low, and I think the Bison have made that adjustment. They probably watched some film last night in the hotel, and you could see there the placement was going high to high the entire time. Schriever dips just a tiny bit on the shot. It's just enough, to get that ball past him. So good placement.
So now a big face-off coming up. We've got an 8-4 game right now. 3:16 left here in the third quarter of play.
And you kind of see why the idea that we were talking after giving up 2 goals, it's a little bit silly to suggest that North Dakota State would get out of their ride, because here we are in the third quarter after giving up 2 goals. It's now playing a huge impact again of not letting Montana State get comfortable on offense. A lot of that credit goes to that ride.
It's going to be a loose ball scooped up here by North Dakota State. Man stumbles, still on his feet though. Pass comes upfield. It will be worked in. Nice job here from Varley. Gets it down low, and it'll be slowed down by Preston Olson. Olson now gives it far side. And here it is, North Dakota State on offense again. So face-offs been dominated by NDSU here in the third quarter of play, and you can tell because it's been mostly the Bison who have had possession here.
Yep.
And they're up 8-4 because of it.
And this Montana State offense, we talked about it, they're good. The best way to beat this offense is to not let them have the ball. North Dakota State's deliberate style of play is doing exactly that. Great split dodge.
Nice dodge and a shot that goes just wide.
Really shifty dodge.
Avery Normandine had 2 of them, really. He did a dodge and then re-dodged back outside again behind the defender he'd already beat on the initial play. Able to open up a shooting lane for himself, and now it's going to be Montana State trying to break this 10-man ride once again. And I'll tell you what.
Down here. Everybody's pressed down. This is a different version of their 10-man ride.
This is Rubenstein. He's the guy who subs in and is kind of the man to break the ride here for.
And this is a different look. So this is a 10-man ride, but it's a different version than what they've been doing. They've been letting them come to them a little bit more. This time they were aggressive. They pressed down, and a great job by the Bobcats of willing to take that pressure, be patient, find the right look.
There's a pass in front.
And that's that same look we saw earlier when the Montana State Bobcats were saying, tell our long six to be ready inside. If we feed to them, tell them to be ready. That time they were. The shot just goes wide.
Quinn with the opportunity. He was able to turn. Misfired somewhat, but
he was
a good
ready.
Chance,
he caught that, and he's ready to shoot that time, so very different. That's why you communicate as a team, right? You talk to your players, tell them what you want to hear.
Absolutely. Ball worked out of bounds. Nice little tip. Defensively getting a stick up. That was NDSU, That was Linderholm. Now it's going to be Lancaster who takes it in for MSU. 8-4 game, 90 seconds left in the third quarter of play. Work near side. Pass in front. Shot. Big save from Orem.
Yeah, that's a good save because he probably didn't get a good read on that ball. So that's a save of positioning. You're in good position, doing the right things, make a good save. That was a good shot through a lot of screens.
Loose ball again. Picked up and then pushed forward by NDSU after they lost it out of their pocket again. Turned the other way.
Yep,
and a flag flies.
Come down. Yep, 2 flags go down. I think they both called it right. But they are offside, so what that will do is that'll be a tripping call for 1 minute. The offside will end the flag down opportunity. Montana State's going to be up for 1 minute. But you mentioned, when is Montana State going to be a little bit more aggressive in their ride? That time they were flying to the ball. They were pressing down a little bit. They create the turnover, and that's able to help them draw the flag.
So 1:06 remaining here in the third quarter of play. 8-4 score. NDSU on top of Montana State. But a really good opportunity here for the Bobcats. Looks as though it is a slashing call.
On a number we don't have on the roster, so he gets Finnegan.
Finnegan with the call on that. The big thing for the Bobcats, if they can score here man up, they can at least carry that confidence, you'd hope, into that next quarter of play. They've got a lot of ball left. Pass out front, chance, and that one cut down by Orem once again, who makes a good defensive play.
I'm not sure if his stick broke or if it's just stuck in the crease, but they're going to sub him off.
Pass comes. Rizzolo is the man who goes off, and he's a finisher. NDSU able to scoop this one up with 40 seconds on the clock. Lofty pass comes to the far side. It'll be taken in there by Halverson, and Halverson now.
You get to the point in the game when Montana State can't come up empty-handed in these possessions. You're down 4. You've had a couple good possessions in a row, done a nice job of stopping the Bison attack and getting that ball cleared, but you've come up empty-handed on the other side. You need to start getting a few of these to drop if you're the Bobcats.
And surprisingly, MSU content with not pressing on this. I still marvel at that a little bit, especially when you're down in the game.
Ooh, pipe
shot hits the crossbar. What a good-looking opportunity there from Eric Larson.
2 seconds left on the shot. He'll just hold it. Oh, and that may count. I think he may have released it before. Now the question is, did he release it before the horn? They're going to talk about it and see. If he did, that will count. They're going to count it.
Wirtz got it away just before the horn. And it's, wow, 9-4 now. Wirtz with a really big goal there. And a scoreless quarter for Montana State. Not at all what you were looking for. A 9-4 game now at the end of 3. We'll step away for a quick break and be back with more. This is the 2018 MCLA National Championships from Salt Lake City, Utah.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine. The shaft is the Meso, and obviously when you look at it, it's got a really sleek look to it. Black on black is pretty smooth. Feel it, it's not too rigid, got a little bit of a grit to it. It's very durable, but it's pretty light. It's got a little bit of a flex to it, so it puts a little bit more on your shot. UA Meso Composite, balanced, battle tested.
Back with you here from Salt Lake City, Utah. You can see that this whole bench for North Dakota State absolutely fired up right now. 15 minutes on the clock. There was no seconds left on the clock, but the shot was taken before that horn sounded. Wirtz had it count. He's got his second of the day.
And that's 2 quarters in a row that North Dakota State has scored in the last 5 seconds of the quarter. Those are kind of backbreaker goals to end quarters with giving up a goal or in a big momentum swing for the Bison.
And here's Shrout. He's going to let one fly.
Do it all. He does it all. He faces off. He's their best defender. He's the guy in the ride. Shrout does it all.
So we have just gotten underway here with the 4th quarter of play. North Dakota State on top 9-4. And offensively, you'd have to think, this is a pretty good output for a team that really likes to set a little bit. They've had some moments where they've really shined.
Yep. And really the kind of crowning moment here, or the really great accomplishment of the Bison, is the ability to just have possession. They've had this ball so much this second half. The Montana State hasn't had a chance of getting any sort of offensive rhythm, because when they get the ball, they're keeping it for 3 or 4 minutes, it feels like, and they're continually getting shots in those possessions.
Now, nice little skip pass shot,
right in the
blocks
chest
off of a defender, and then Schriever scoops it up inside of his own crease. We tick down to the last 14 minutes of the game, 9-4 score. MSU can't come up empty now. They're running out of time. And man goes down.
There's going to be a flag. It's going to be a push. So that'll be a 30-second penalty here.
Outlet, but what an effort here for Montana State. They've got a free possession, and the ball's worked down low. This is going to be Madigan who will take this through X to the far side. Feeds one up. One hops into the stick of Lewis Richmond. You got to think, though, if there's a team that could pour it on, Montana State could be that
They're
squad.
very talented, so they got the talent to do it.
Work to the near side. Long pole, Mitty. Going to have this here for this Montana State squad. Gives it back down low to Brown. And he'll slow it down, giving it up top now to Batu. Bartu has this and gives it right back down to Brown on the give and go play. 13-12 left and ticking down. Remember, we are with a flag down on the field, having a free play at it for this Montana State squad. Here's a chance. Rizzolo shoots. Big save.
Huge
rebound.
save.
Almost put in off of a defender who was just trying to gather that ball in, but a nice play to get that to the ground.
And these saves are huge in the fourth quarter. You're up by 5. You got to just hold them off for, you know, we talk about that every time you have a sizable lead in the fourth quarter. Every minute without a goal is as good as scoring a goal. So that save right there is huge for North Dakota to keep them off the board, stop them from getting that momentum, force them to try and get it in a man upset where North Dakota has probably one of the best man up units or man down units here in the tournament.
Under 13 minutes left now. 9-4 the score here. Fourth quarter action. I'm just laughing at this little
The
play going on here. So, looks like a holding call. Just a 30-second call. So
yeah, so it'll be quick.
That just adds to it. I mean, that was almost better for Montana State to have that free possession and try and get something from it, because 30 seconds against this NDSU team can feel like 10, especially with their slides. This is going to be Brown.
But Montana State moves well off ball, and that's the key to being a great man-up team.
Worked in Richmond. And Rizzolo shoots and scores.
That same play. They've done that play a couple times on Man Up where they essentially start a wheel on one side of the field, then move that ball quickly to the other side. They find a guy curling up from X, and he's able to take that shot on the run. That's twice today they've been able to get that same look.
So the interesting thing, just from my stat sheet that I have, is both teams now have an empty quarter goal-wise.
Yep.
North Dakota State held off in the first quarter play, but they just exploded for 6 in the second. And now we'll see if Montana State has a response, because they were held scoreless in the third quarter of play. They do at least get the goal from Rizzolo, and it's a 9-5 game. And you know as well as I that 4 goals in the game of lacrosse, especially with 12:45 left, plenty of time.
But you don't have a ton of time. You can't now be really patient, and you got to start winning some of these 50-50 face-offs here that you're going to see. Got to start getting a couple of these clears. You can't fail a ton more clears. Time is going to be a factor here for the Bobcats.
And a little shovel play. Gets that ball to the ground. Scooped up again by the Bobcats. And a nice outlet to this
really
far side. Here comes Montana State. Man pulling up now. Slows down and gives it to another long pole. It goes to the ground once more, but plenty of time and space to work with here. Scooped up by Buckingham.
Good work by the long sticks there of Montana State to clear that ball themselves. It took 3 of them to do it, but they were all able to connect their passes, get that ball cleared.
12 on the clock now with a 9-5 score. This one worked up top, in and out of the pocket, and a ground ball here. North Dakota State scoops it up.
Now you got to be a little aggressive on the ride.
Great job on that ride, like you were talking about. And it's picked up by Montana State once more.
That's what you need. You had a turnover you didn't love, and that's going to be an interference call, totally unnecessary interference call for Montana State. Chopped his stick maybe 20 yards away from the ball. That's a free possession, giving that ball right back to the Bison.
It's the little things like that eat away at the time, especially when they get a chance. We'll see if they can find offense. Shot, big save from Schriever. What a stop there on Linderholm, who was on the doorstep. Didn't really change the plane, it looked like, and gave Schriever the best chance at it to make that save.
Yeah, and Schriever's a good goalie. You're going to have to change planes to beat him.
And you can't go low.
Or you have to have great placement. Yeah, don't go low.
Don't go low.
Change planes.
Work to the near side now. North Dakota State with that 9-5 lead, and now with possession as it continues to tick down. They're running out some of the clock here. Nice little run up this near side from Eric Larson. He finds GLE, turns back up top. The ball is going to be worked around the perimeter here. Open set for NDSU. Nice little reversal on the dodge, and the pass comes back up top again to Sorensen. Sorensen gives it off, and here's
Push.
a chance, a jump shot from the high crease.
You see his big body is really tough to stop him from getting inside, and he uses his size there to be able to get inside and get a good look.
This is Eric Larson again. He has already connected twice here today for this NDSU squad. 10.5 minutes left in the game, 9-5 lead for the Bison. Worked out of X. Nice little jump play on that one from the Bison. They had two guys go the same direction.
In the crease.
The sliders missed,
Looks
but
like
a
he just stepped
violation.
in the crease, and I think he's complaining that he may have been pushed into the crease by Montana State. If you're not going to call it interference, you got to call it in the crease.
Now here's MSU.
Let's get in the box, and here's a good time for a timeout potentially.
They're going to try and reverse course. And it looks as though they're going to just
Well,
let him set it
there.
up. Chance and a
Two
shot
flags,
and a goal.
2 flags behind the play as well. So this is potential going to be a goal and a man-up opportunity for the Bobcats.
It's Andrew Quinn, who was the guy that we talked about needing to be ready.
Yeah.
And he was again. He gets the pass inside and tucks one home for the long pole.
That's awesome because we saw the conversation happen here saying, hey, tell Quinn to be ready inside next time he gets the ball. Obviously that message got to him because that's twice in a row he's been ready, and that one's a huge goal for the Bobcats.
So now the conference from the officials, because we may see them go
2 flags go down from the same official. So if they're both personal fouls, they'll both stick. If one of them's a technical foul, it'll get waved off with the goal. The personal foul will stick. We'll see what they call.
And it will. It sounds as though NDSU's prepping to go man down.
2 fouls. So it's exactly that. It was a personal foul, which is going to be the conduct, playing without a stick, and that's going to be a technical foul, playing without a stick. That one will be waved off by the goal, but the other one, the personal foul, will stick. So the Bobcats are going to be man up here for 1 minute.
The one bummer of that is, it's not a bummer. You scored a goal, you're drawn within 3 goals, but not a possession.
Yeah, you got to win a face-off.
So you got to win a face-off.
But you have the extra guy here in the wings, so that should help.
Shrout, though, is just an absolute
He's been a stud
monster.
this second half.
He tries to stand it up.
Good
but wow,
job by Whalen of pulling that right back.
Great effort, and he did it to the open wing nonetheless. So now it's going to be taken here by Brown. Whalen picks up his attacking stick now. Has to wait for a substitution. Now it's going to be worked around. Sorry, I was momentarily trying to figure out what the whole sub stuff was.
Yeah, confusion here.
And this one's going to be Montana State who takes this. 9:37 to go, 9-6 the score. The Bobcats need a goal here and a chance at a long shot.
That's a far shot. And luckily they got the backup there. It was just barely. It wasn't by much.
Bartu just let it rip. He had a good little jump on it, though.
I like to see this Montana State offense move. They're so good at cutting and finding guys that are moving. You don't want to see them just settle for easy shots from the outside.
Bartu's the man who chases down and backs up Whalen's shot that went low to high and over the goal. 10 seconds left here, man-up opportunity. Bartu's going to take it in. He finds GLE. Pass comes around. Brown has it to Whalen, to Brown again.
Penalty's about to expire.
Man's about set to return to the field of play. We're at full strength now. And here's a chance. So on that one, can they stand out there at the midfield line?
So what they usually do is they'll put a defensive player out of the midfield line, and they'll release one of their attackmen to let him go jump from the midfield line. So they do a little bit of a substitution at the end of the penalty to get him a little bit closer to the field to shorten the time it takes to get the extra guy back on.
NDSU does take this one, looking to break out. Not a real big ride there from MSU. Maybe they're content with having 8:43 to work with here and it being a 3-goal game. But while they've scored the last 2, they need a lot more, and North Dakota State's not going to give them an easy access back into this game.
Yeah, that was a golden opportunity there for the Bobcats. If you could have gotten that goal, cut the lead to 2. Now you're down 3. Montana or North Dakota State's going to do much of what they've been doing the whole game, which is patient offense, looking for the right looks.
Worked
it takes
into
time.
Wirtz. How about that one if Wirtz's goal ends up being the winner? Only the irony from the shot that came as time expired. Can be worked around once more. Wirtz has it, goes up top, finds the stick there of Zachary Wiegman. Wiegman continues it along as well, finding Spencer Marsh. Marsh's pass gets away from his man.
Goes out.
And a turnover. Montana State will take this one, and the Bobcats love to see that. 7:58 to go here in fourth quarter action, 9-6 score. as the Bobcats trying to break. It's a long pass, but they've got their man, and he's just going to spin away. He's been breaking double teams all day. Aaron Rubenstein content to spin away from one North Dakota State defender.
And good job getting that ball clear. Now this is where these are going to matter. You can't afford to fail a lot more clears here when you have 7 minutes to make up a 3-goal deficit. When that's 50% of your game total so far.
Pass attempted to come out front. Ball's onto the ground. Scooped up by North Dakota State. And Montana is going to have to ride hard. They can't come up with possession though. 7:19 left. North Dakota State. Nice defensive play there, able to come up with the ball, and they didn't really give MSU a chance at a shot even.
Yeah, and you can see the game management here from the Bison. They're not going to take an early shot into possession. They're not going to take a so-so opportunity in transition. They're going to wait, play the patient 6-on-6, run the clock out. This is good game management. It's like a Peyton Manning type approach to the end of the game. You're going to run it until you can milk that clock until it's over, and then get that last little pass to milk the game away.
6:45 left. I love the reference, man, and I love the hat.
You got big Broncos fans here.
It's worked around. Wirtz will take this one, even with his, what was it, seven touchdowns and 17 interceptions.
Yeah, it's the Super Bowl that matters.
That's exactly it. They never ask how, just how many. This is going to be taken in by Stover. He almost has a lane to the goal. He shoots, he scores. Wow.
Way to isolate the short stick there and understand, hey, we've got a good matchup. And you kind of take that little skinny dodge, which is right down the alley. The angle keeps getting cut off. He's able to shoot right before he loses his angle, put it opposite high. That one may be a backbreaker here. In a 10-6 game, being able to stretch that lead to 4 with only 6 minutes left, that's going to be a tough one to come back from.
We'll see if MSU has it. Really, I'd say that's nail in the coffin if they don't have a response inside of a minute. You just start to run out of time. That's probably my favorite saying that I'll be stealing from you after the weekend, is that in a game that's pushed out even to 4, this is a big lead in a game like this. Every minute is as good as a goal.
Yep, it certainly is.
Now you're Shrout trying to play a little bit of hockey on the field. Not going to be able to do so successfully. Ball still down, scooped up. Wow.
Balls.
Great job there. Coming in was Darby Sorensen, and he scoops it up for this North Dakota State squad. 6 minutes on the clock and another possession for the Bison. This one is taken by Sorensen, and you can hear that Montana State trying to yell to kind of push out a little bit here. They're going to have to start
they're going to have
pressing.
to change their set a little bit here. Now, it's not the time in the game when you necessarily have to go into a full-on double team, pull your goalie type situation, but you do have to up the pressure. You can't let them sit here for a minute to a minute and a half and milk it off the clock, because you need those opportunities to score 4 goals.
Chance for possession. Hatlin's going to have it, taking it all the way into X. He's got that inversion play here with the short stick marking up on him. It's Kruger. We'll see if Hatlin can capitalize. Comes out front near side, and a jump shot from Hatlin ends up being stopped by Schriever, and he'll just escape behind his own goal here. 5:20 to go. Schriever needs an outlet, and again, here's that 10-man ride you were talking about, where they're kind of pushing the guys up field again.
Being a little bit more aggressive on the back end of it. And that's hard. That makes it a tough adjustment. You see there, it pays off. This is why you commit to the 10-man ride. This is exactly why, because in the fourth quarter, you really just put the nail in the coffin with your ride. And again, that's a different flavor of a 10-man ride. That time they push all the pressure down. You've been used to seeing it, a little bit of the pressure being more in the midfield line. That's great diversity, good coaching from the Bison. That potentially is a nail in the coffin with 5 minutes left, 5-goal lead.
And we'll see if Montana State has a response on the other side of this. It's the 2018 MCLA National Championships quarterfinal action for Jordan Harris on Vlad and Chase.
Life is about moments.
If you fight, I fight. If I fight, we fight.
You be there and watch what I do when the bell rings. Do you have that real look in your eye that when you look at yourself in the mirror, you can ask yourself this question: did I give everything I got? Did I lay it all on the line? Or am I cheating myself?
What you say, Quaid? See ya! Right at it. Oh! He's done it again!
Whatever you're going to do, claim it. Leave your mark on this world.
Back with you here from Salt Lake City, Utah. You're watching the MCLA National Championships 2018 edition here from field number 5. I'm Vlad Chase, joined by Jordan Harris. An 11-6 game, and unless Montana State can score a real quick goal and change the momentum here, I would agree with you in what you said, Jordan, and that was kind of the nail in the coffin.
Well, and I like the game from North Dakota State. They've done this exactly how they won yesterday. It wasn't pretty yesterday, and it's going to end up being close to the same score, maybe a little bit tighter margin here today, but they've executed the same way. Very patient offense, super aggressive rides, and smart, consistent defense. And it's a hard formula to break, and that's why North Dakota State's the number 2 team in the country.
Well, I mean, let's get real, though. They did play with 2 goalies yesterday, so
that's right. Yeah, so they ran depth, and this is why you run depth, because this is the only time in the tournament where you have back-to-back games. So you'll get a rest day tomorrow, then you play in the semifinals. If you win that, you get a rest day, then the finals. So there was a smart management yesterday of being able to save your legs, so that you have this energy here in the fourth quarter to be playing at full speed.
4:18 left here now, 11-6. North Dakota State with another possession. This is going to be worked out top by Eric Larson. Quickly finds the stick there of Wiegman. Near side now it's Wirtz. And he'll just kind of lob one in to Noah Simpson at X. Simpson now comes out front, has a man, and a shot and a goal. And that's it right there.
Yep.
Darby Sorensen puts home another one for Montana State and extends it out to 12-6 lead. And nothing left to do here but let that 4:01 tick off the clock.
Yeah, exactly right. This is going to be, the Bison are going to move forward here in the tournament, and they're going to go to the semifinals.
Good job there from.
They'll probably get a crack at. They'll get a crack at the winner of the. I think it's the Minnesota Duluth game tonight. Minnesota Duluth, and we'll check and see who they're playing. But they'll get the winner of that in the semifinals.
Do we have some updates on games happening around at other fields?
Yeah, so we have BYU and Utah. 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Utah is up 9-7, so that one's a little bit of a neck-and-neck game here. We'll snag a few other updates for you.
3:56 left here in the face-off. Not able to control and keep it in play as Wayland, so North Dakota State with the ball.
Chapman's up 10-8 on Liberty with 2 minutes left.
Wow.
So a few neck-and-neck games. And it looks like St. Thomas on the other side of this D2 bracket is up 6-4 on Florida Gulf Coast.
So some really close games. We've got the largest margin so far here in the quarterfinals, 12-6. We've got a good game coming up here after in D1. We'll be covering the Michigan State Spartans as they take on Virginia Tech, the Hokies.
That'd be a good game. So it looks like North Dakota will get the winner of the Kennesaw State versus Minnesota Duluth. Minnesota Duluth is the number 3 seed. They've been a very good team this year, so they'll get a chance to go after them, assuming they can beat Kennesaw State. Maybe an early assumption.
That would be a pretty fun matchup, and that's what's so good about semifinals. You get a lot of teams that deserve to be there.
Yep, no question. You can't fake your way to the semifinals, right?
Looks as though we're going to get another foul against the Bobcats. Maybe a little blood boiling over here.
Looks like the BYU-Utah game is narrowed. It's 9-8 for the Utes, 5 minutes left there, so that looks like it's a good one. If you're on the MCLA website, mcla.us, you can watch all the games at the same time. A little bit of a binge watch option.
And of course, you can always tweet us, hashtag MSUVNDSU. We had a strong Twitter game there.
We did. Last night we had a lot of people, a lot of tweets. A lot of Fortnite references I kind of got, but I'm feeling a little bit old.
I mean, you are. I didn't want to say anything.
It's okay. It's okay. A little too old to understand Fortnite.
Ball's worked around the perimeter here on man-up play. NDSU on the man up. I do have a quick question for you here.
Go ahead.
Would they put you into a shot clock on man up?
You cannot be on a shot clock in man up, so it doesn't matter how long it is, they cannot call it when the teams are uneven. So it doesn't matter who's on offense, either team, they can't call it when it's an uneven situation.
Okay. See, the more you learn, the more you learn. Worked over.
So North Dakota State could have just held that ball on their stick for the entire minute and run it out.
2:20 left now, 12-6 the score. 15 seconds remaining here. Man's just about set to return, but it looks as though he's just going to turn to the bench and have someone come out in lieu of him. NDSU with this. It's going to be taken and fired up top to Stover. Man's out. Pass comes in front. There's Schriever. He goes down.
He's going out for the double team here. You gotta end your season fighting, right?
Absolutely. 12-6 to score. Schriever was out there. And you got to be really impressed with this kid. He's just a sophomore, so
yeah, he's
Montana State, he will definitely be back. A few more
good years out of him. And this is for Montana State here coming to the tournament. They hadn't gotten out of the first round before this year. They've been here 3 other times. This go around, they're able to win their first round game, come in as a high seed, wear their whites on the first day of the game, first day of the tournament. So it's a good learning experience for them. They're still a young team. They still got plenty of these guys are coming back next year. So it's going to be a good team again that potentially will be back in the tournament come next year.
And the deeper you go, you start to understand what it takes to continue on.
Yeah.
And so now they've taken that first step in getting out of the first round of play, and they'll be ready to compete and understand the level they need to be at.
Which is kind of the same story for North Dakota State. They just want to get out of the semifinals here now. So North Dakota State, their 7th time here. They're saying, okay, let's get to the championship game. Let's get a W here. They've been on the brink for a few years. So both these teams are just kind of trying to take that next step, and a little bit different for each team.
69 seconds left here in the game. 12-6 score. Not really a question of whether or not this one is up in the air. It's 12-6 with NDSU heading into the semifinals after the last little bit ticks off. However, they do take a timeout here. Just good game management to kind of reset a clock. Minute 9, we'll be back with the conclusion of this one here from field number 5. This is 2018 MCLA National Championships from Salt Lake City.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Beautiful backdrop and a pretty good game for the better part of those, really the first half. It was a first half game. The third quarter really separated these two teams. North Dakota State was able to jump out to a 9-4 lead. And eventually it obviously came into fourth quarter play. MSU did have a little bit more offense, but it's been North Dakota State that's come out. They have a 12-6 lead as we come down to the last minute of play here in the quarterfinals of action.
They're putting on display why they're the number 2 team in the country.
And who is it in D2 that's number 1?
It's St. Thomas, who's playing on the field just next to us.
Loose ball.
Be a stall warning here. Probably won't matter too much. Still can take 30 more seconds off, which will essentially end the game.
Ball is picked up.
And BYU just tied it up on the other field, so it's 9-9.
Wow.
That's going to be a flag, I think. I'm not sure here. No, North Dakota State certainly wanted a call for it. Oh, there it is. Just took a little while to find the flag. There's a second one here. So a lot of frustration as your season's coming to an end. They're going to just try and keep it calm and make sure nobody gets hurt.
Right.
Yeah, you don't want anybody to get hurt here.
I mean, he was just kind of in a precarious situation there. He was going down already, so his body was in a vulnerable state there with the collision. Half a minute left now. North Dakota State up 12-6. A 6-4 final. St. Thomas on top of Florida Gulf Coast. Looks as though Chapman's on top 10-9 with 30 seconds left.
So good games all around
Liberty.
us.
Yeah, absolutely. But half a minute left here.
Looks like BYU's got timeout here with 1:54 left. Tied up game in the D1 side.
Preston Olson jumped to his feet there after going down and kind of collapsing. So it's good to see that he's up.
Olson, what a game for him today. He really stepped up when the Bison needed him. But there's a period of time they're having a hard time getting some really quality looks, and he was moving around inside on those 2-man up opportunities, on the goal that came after that. He's done a really nice job for the Bison today to help spring it open for him.
Absolutely. He has 2 goals on the day, and he probably is done for the evening. Just half a minute left. A couple guys on their knees here from Montana State. Good battle, good year for this Bobcat squad. You can't look past the fact that they did
a great year of stepping stones, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
As a program, as a team, this team obviously would want to go further. You always end the year, if you're not the last team standing, you wish you could have done a little bit more. But as a program, this is a great stepping stone for them. They got out of the first round. They came to the tournament. They made a good impression. They had a very talented team, won an RMLC championship, so got a little bit of hardware. So that's a good year for these guys. And it looks like Liberty just tied up the game with Chapman. So number one, Chapman, 6 seconds left on the clock. Chapman has tied it up with Liberty. Other way around. Liberty tied it up with.
Yeah, that'll be one we'll probably jump over and watch if it does head to overtime. Thing is, Richmond goes for Montana State.
It's a big loss.
He's a senior, and you could see he was one of those guys that they could rely on offensively. But other than that, I mean, Brown's coming in. He's only a sophomore this year. He got 31 goals, 28 assists on the season, the regular. And, again, another one of those guys that really has a huge impact on the game. Lancaster's a junior, so he'll return for that senior season. So there is some excitement, definitely, for Montana State.
We got a timeout here from North Dakota State. I got to think they're going to take this timeout here and say, be smart, guys. It's not a time at this point in the game that the outcome is assured. We're saying, hey, let's not get any penalties. Let's not do something stupid that would cost you to play in the next game, get in a fight, get disqualified, something that would potentially put your semifinal appearance at risk. And as important, let's not get hurt. So let's milk this clock. Let's not do anything stupid. When the game ends, no fights. At this point, Montana State has nothing to lose. Not that they would. I think they're a classy team with a great head coach. But if you're North Dakota State, it says, let's get out of this game and make sure everybody on this field is playing on Thursday.
We're going to take a quick little break here and be back with more action. The conclusion of the last 30 seconds of this one here from field number 5. Good action. Semifinals after the next 30 seconds ticks off.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
Here for the last 30, and it looks as though the Bison have made full rotation.
It's exactly what we talked about. Make sure nobody gets hurt, nobody gets suspended. They've subbed their entire team down here. They're gonna pull off the pressure, sit back a little bit, let the clock expire here for the last 30 seconds. Take it to the semifinals here for the Bison.
Errant pass creates a turnover. North Dakota State's going to have the ball. They'll take this one in off of the restart whistle. Ball comes into, hey, there's the netminder. New guy, that's Ben Crandall getting the last half minute of action. Pass comes up the field, and North Dakota State has this with 9 seconds on the clock, though it looks
offside.
As on offside.
So 7 seconds left. Let's run this out here. Long last minute of this game.
It really has been. A lot of timeouts, there's an injury break. Man's going to heave this one upfield, and he's going to turn and try and shoot.
That'll do it.
Good effort from Richmond, but that's it. Horn sounds. We have come to the end of this one as Montana State sees their season come to an end. North Dakota State will play on, and they will indeed play on Thursday for the semifinals. For Jordan Harris, I'm Vladen Chase saying so long here from Field 5. 12-6 final, NDSU on top of MSU.
Founded in 2009, Lacrosse Talk Radio has the most live and up-to-date coverage of the fastest sport on 2 feet. Whether you're listening to one of our over 200 live youth, high school, collegiate, or professional game broadcasts, or our regional specialty shows, Lacrosse Talk Radio gives you access and insight to your favorite teams and players. Visit us at lacrossetalkradio.com for our broadcast schedules in the Rocky Mountain, Tri-State, and Mid-Atlantic regions. Lacrosse Talk Radio, the official voice of the MCLA.
My name is Pat Young. I started my college career at University of Maryland, Baltimore County, and finished up at University of Maryland College Park. I currently play for the Ohio Machine.